me.
I was so nervous and died when I actually too. There was so many people. 28 signups. It was 3 hours. It was a marathon. It was lovely. It was exhausting. No, by the time I got out, I was so hungry that like my fingers were like shaking a little bit. I was like, not all. But like, in my opinion, the performance was
Okay, we're going to get started. We are now live on the interwebs. So welcome everyone to the launch of Fucking Transplants number 4 by Laura Singh, who has organized this whole event, this whole open mic. So give it up for Laura. My name is Greg Newton. I am the co-founder, along with this guy, my beautiful partner, Donnie Jokum, of the Bureau. How many first-time people do we have here? First-timer? Ooh, a lot. Welcome. So we have a long name. We are the Bureau of General Services Queer Division. We are not a government agency, but we could be someday. If the right government comes along. We're looking. We are an all-volunteer independent queer bookstore that has been here, that has been in existence since 2012, and we've been here at the LGBT Community Center since 2014. Yes, thank you. We exist. If you're not already on our email list and you would like to be, you can sign up for that at the back of the room by the register, or those of you watching online, you can go to our website, which is bgsqd.com. And you can also go there to check out upcoming events and exhibitions. We always have changing art exhibitions as well. So we keep a busy calendar here. And our regular business hours are Wednesdays through Sundays from 1 to 7 p.m. And then we often stay open later when we have events such as this. So normally I would be passing a bag around and collecting donations, but we're not going to do that tonight. Firstly, because we want you to buy the zines. That's why we're here. But also I know that Laura's going to be collecting donations for some various mutual aid projects for trans folks. So we definitely want to support that. So the best way to support us tonight is just buy things, buy some zines, buy some books, but also let your friends know. I mean, I can't tell you how many times people have told me, I had no idea this was here because we're tucked away in the corner up here. So tell people. Before I hand it over to Laura, I just wanted to read a land acknowledgement and then we will get started. So, the Bureau acknowledges that our organization operates on the unceded land of the Munsee Lenape. We encourage you to join the Bureau in signing up to make a monthly donation to the American Indian Community Houses Mannahatta Fund. The Mannahatta Fund, according to its website, is an invitation to all settlers and non-native people who wish to acknowledge the legacy of theft and genocide that comprise the history of New York City and the United States. And you can find out more at mannahattafund.org. And with that, please give it up for Laura, who made this night happen.
Oh, cool. Okay. First off, I totally forgot to get the sign-up sheet from where Greg is standing, so if someone could hand me that, that would rock. Maybe it's Greg. Okay, yay, great, thanks. I've done this before. This is my second event. Thank you. Yay, me. Yay. So in issue 4 of the zine, there's a bit of a like shoddily combined statement on living in the present, acknowledging a little bit about the past 3 weeks and how they sucked. We all know that, right? Like we know that just everything is burning right now and we're living in hell. So that actually, living in hell, has inspired me to do these events and also to put the zine out in the wild. Because I feel like we need more space where trans people can exist and talk about stuff that makes us happy, and I think sex makes us happy. Does sex make us happy? Okay, great. I'm just making sure you're at the right event. This is a smut event featuring other art on love, lust, and heartbreak, because, you know, we all have a lot of feelings as well. But yeah, for that, you can just read the zine. We don't need to talk about it. Instead, I will tell you that I was typing this zine until 3 p.m. today. I have had this space booked because even though many of you haven't been here before, it is a very popular joint and it is difficult to get space here. So I have actually had this on the calendar since like October, November. And I was like, I'm gonna release a zine in public. And then I was like, okay, I'm actually gonna do that in December because a bar is letting me do it, but we're doing this now. And I've known about this since October, and we got the zine printed and stapled. My stapler's here today. And I was body doubling with a friend last night who had to tell me that she took AP English like 16 years ago. And in AP English, she learned about the penny dreadful. Has anyone here heard about penny dreadfuls?
Yes.
2 people who write and read a lot, fantastic. Okay, so I did not take AP English. Also, side note, I've never read Dickens. Have not, I'm so sorry. He features a little bit in the story. So I didn't know this. Dickens and other writers of his time who were struggling for cash would put out their books or ideas in like serialized form. So they would release generally 8 to 16 page packets, little zines perhaps. And in those zines, they would just fucking go with ideas. And the books, some like very famous books whose name I'm forgetting because obviously I didn't read them, from this era like were compilations, like they were basically highlight reels of the best from these serials, and they were the predecessors of like telenovelas, and they are why we had what are they called when you talk on radio, like radio broadcasting shows. So basically like why we have TV shows is books like this were put out weekly or monthly, generally weekly because people needed the money. And if you couldn't read, this was like when literacy was like really spreading all across Europe. But if you still couldn't read, or you liked a performance, you could pay a half a penny to have someone read the Penny Dreadful to you, which was cute. So you're all paying a half a penny, which is 6 pennies, 6 pence or something. No, that was a whatever. Anyway, sorry. Dickens's stuff would cost 12 pennies. So all the I know, right? So it was a lot of pennies. Okay, I don't know the conversion rate to like European whatever British pence of 1840, but like 12 was probably a lot. And so they had folks who were satirizing him in Penny Dreadfuls. So there's one called Oliver Twist. That was incredibly popular. And also, does anyone here like true crime? A couple people? Okay, right. So they like true crime also in the Victorian era, and they were popular fodder for these Penny Dreadfuls. So it'd be like, oh my god, there's this like murderer doing crazy shit. I have an idea about crazy shit and murder. Let me slightly fictionalize the story. Like this zine, perhaps. So yeah, I thought that was a really fun thing to learn last night, and it was very validating. I tell you this whole story to let you know that I am dropping the Penny Dreadful, and the main story in this zine will be continued in the next zine. So, as my beautiful, lovely scholar friend Che told me last night, I am not a procrastinating, chaotic mess of a writer. I am, in fact, the Dickens of today. So, thank you. Thank you. Maybe I should audiobook him if I'm gonna say that. But is it worth it? Is Dick's worth it? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Some people, yeah. Okay. And a lot of ands. Okay. Extremely worth it?
Oh, I said extremely verbose. So
Verbose,
you could tell that he was
okay.
getting paid by the
Paid by the word, right? That's what I thought. Yeah, okay. See, I'm not. This zine is 29 pages, which you can get for $5 from this bookstore. $5. That's all I'm saying. It's like longer than a foot long if you lay out all the pages. So you get like, I don't know how many foot longs that would be, but like a lot. And yeah, so before I break the ice, I'm gonna read you some porn. So anyone else reading porn feels a little, I don't know, not embarrassed, because I'm gonna embarrass myself maybe. I will tell you that I am fundraising for general trans causes. That means people that I know, or friends of people that I know, or people in the greater network, we know how being queer works, who are having any issues with like food, housing, literally anything that they need to pay for. You can Venmo me. I made a Venmo just for this. All the proceeds of this zine also go to that. So, if you buy the zine, you are helping trans people. Because I'm a grad student and I have unlimited printing. So that is what I will take. For now, I don't have to buy paper. So all the money's going to trans people that are not me. Yeah, so you can Venmo me, and my Venmo is 2 neighborhoods together, Ditmas Park Slope. Ditmas Park, Park Slope. I'm from here. That's the premise of the zine. I'm from here, and I fuck people who aren't from here! Is anybody else from here? Is anyone from here? Oh, boom, I do that, because I brought you here. Okay, damn it. I don't have my distance glasses on. Yeah, okay, well, we know that. Kat's in the back. Kat's gonna be vending some really sick photography, some really great trans stuff, and then we have Connor over there, right, Connor, with Discount Guillotine, a really cool press. I don't know, what to say about it, but I've read a bunch of your stuff and it's very good. And I also have a very fun shirt. So you can buy a tote bag, a cool print, or this story. Okay, and this is my first read through of the story, so I will make no eye contact. I'm so sorry. It's called Good Morning, February 3rd, 2025. Everything else planned for the zine I scrapped. There were so many limbs, so many tangled bodies. Deez was lost in the chaos. Their sensations were heightened, but at the same time, everything felt far away. They were aware that these things were really happening to their body, so it wasn't an out-of-body experience per se. At least they felt like they were really there, spirit and form united in their queen-size bed, with what had to have been at least 5 other people fucking on the floor in some configuration. Dee heard the negotiations of a fisting scene and could make out the groans of its execution. Another friend was panting, there was the occasional slap, and their ensuing yelps. They remembered that Meoni, Jess, Dex, and Amelia had RSVP'd yes, but they couldn't recall who else might be in the room with them. Everything was happening to and around them, and it was overwhelming in the best way. Flopped across their stomach was their best friend Macy, who was getting railed, but with her face currently out of view, even though they knew she was there, she too was just a torso. So far away were the people connected to the hands that were touching their chest, the tongue on their engorged dick. Oh, amazing, we're gonna read that. And the fingertips, we're going in. This is an orgy. Did you know this is an orgy? And the fingertips grazing across their nipples. They could feel their nipples. They could feel their nipples? It had been 5 years since top surgery, and only the faintest sensation had returned to their pectoral, a feeling not unlike that of an asleep foot. There wasn't even that close to their nipples, but here they were, they felt them, nonetheless. They felt their nipples, don't question it. Macy shifted her arm from her side to out in front of her, and the gentle motion of her arm brushing against them made their cock hard. They didn't question it. They tried to think instead about the bodies and the all-trans orgy that their partner was throwing for them for their 35th birthday. The party, I'm turning 32 this year. So we have for their 35th birthday. The party that was currently happening, but at the same time 2 weeks away. Macy's moans were continuous now and elevating in pitch. She was begging for Ollie to come in her, to please fill her up, please, Ollie, please. And at the pace Ollie was going, it felt like she was getting close. She wasn't even thrusting that much at this point. She had grabbed Macy's ass, holding her at the soft, fleshy bits on her sides and pulling her onto and away from her girl dick. Accordingly, Macy's torso rocked ever so slightly forward and back on Dee's. Macy was getting fucked stupid, and it was making Dee so fucking happy. They loved the proximity to her, feeling her sweat slip across them, and knowing that she was getting everything that she needed in this moment. There had to be more than 5 people at this party. Maya was going to pull all the stops to welcome her D-bear into their mid-30s. It sounded like more than 5 people, but they couldn't see anybody but Ollie. There was such limited flesh visible, and so many people in the community that have the same names. Even someone crying out one wasn't a guarantee that they'd know which person was in the room with them. Macy and Ollie were obvious. Ollie's was the only face they could see. Wow, I edited this. Ollie's was the only face they could see from their recumbent position since she was fucking Macy just over them. And Macy sounded just like she does when her favorite K-pop band drops new merch, only sluttier. You know the sound. It was interesting to note how similar her squeals of pleasure were in response to sexual and non-sexual satisfactions. Macy and Dee had been friends for almost 7 years at this point, but had never shared sexual space before, not even kissed in the privacy of their homes. Despite this lack of physical intimacy in the past, for some reason, her getting digged down on top of them felt like the most natural thing in the world. It felt natural, and it was turning them on as well. They were uncertain if that feeling was okay, and tried to push those thoughts out of their mind. She was on top of them after all, perhaps just for comfort, the safety of their emotional connection. Dee was starting to feel sexual things towards Macy and worried silently if that was wrong or not. Or maybe it was just the head they were getting on the other side of Macy's body. Embarrassingly, they couldn't tell who it was. It could be Maya. There was some nibbling every once in a while. Typically, someone unfamiliar with their bits wouldn't use their teeth without asking. But also people do whatever the fuck they want, so that's not there. But whoever this was fucking doing it to them. Whatever it was, the suction, the nibbling, the grabbing at their thighs, they were starting to hope that this mystery person would ask to fuck them, or get fucked by them. It wasn't at crisis level yet, but they were going to need one or the other soon. They could hear the people on the floor sounds getting more and more distant as their oral field shrunk to the goings-on of the bed. Dee had a green ribbon tied around their left ankle and a pink one on their right. If the fellator wanted to get fucked, all they had to do was pull Dee out from under Macy and get into position. This was a free use party. Take notes. This was a free use party with different ribbons signaling different people's comfort levels with being used. Of course, for topping, the ribbons went on the left side, bottoming the right. Green, as is customary, meant 100% consent to either fuck or get fucked by the person wearing it. Pink, for visibility's sake, meant probably yes, but ask first. Yellow was more of a proceed with caution, a maybe, but not a very likely maybe, and black was an absolute no. Dee loves to top, and they love to top immediately upon request. In a perfect world, they'd be able to wear a green ribbon on their left ankle or wrist in public and have that be understood. In a perfect world. There was the orange hanky, which signaled either anything at any time on the left or nothing right now, thanks, on the right. But there isn't anything that means I'll top for anything left or I'll bottom for anything right. Even if there was, it seems like almost nobody knows the hanky code or takes the time to Google what the red, black, and pink, both dark and light bandanas they sometimes tie to their keys mean. Why even wear a bandana? They sell bandanas in the back, by the way. They're really fucking cute. I have the light pink one from here. It's amazing. It's a shoot your shot on it. Very cute. Very cute. It's a divine thing. Anyway. So we're fucking. Okay, we're all fucking. Let's get back here. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. She's on top of them. Whoa. Oh my god. I'm in love with my friend. What's happening? Getting head right now. Okay. Third person, you know what I mean. Macy was about to come. Her voice had started to break, her words turning into babbles of nothingness and laughter. Ollie had a self-satisfied grin on her face, and it was well-deserved. She had the stamina. I'm not gonna make the moans. I write them real good. I'm not gonna, I don't. Woo! I should have had someone read this for me, I'm so sorry. There were sharp inhales and exhales punctuating her pleasure. I totally did that. Following her moans. Macy was effectively a puddle on Dee's chest. Ollie, can I come? Can I please come? Can I come? I'm so close. Whatever that sounds like. You can. I don't have sex, I don't know. I just write it. I'm sorry, I don't know. Does this sound right? This sounds good? Okay, this is like maybe. Okay, great. Ollie says now. This is the best reading ever, oh my god. Woo! Thank you for the snaps. When you fuck up in like rock camp, if anyone's familiar with Willie Mae Rock Camp, they say, you rock. So the kids on the stage, and they like fuck up in the middle of a song, you just hear a bunch of people in the background going, you rock! That's all I'm imagining. No one's in their underwear, you're all just screaming, you rock at me, and I'm just like, do I rock? Do I rock? Anyway, Ollie says, because she asked to come, right? She's begging to come. Ollie says, you can, but you know the rules. Macy nodded vigorously into the rumpled duvet her face was buried in. I do. Dee did not know the rules, but before they had more of a thought, Macy came, shivering, and released her squirt into Dee's side. She started laughing and lowered her hips just a little with the force of her orgasm. Get up. That's sexy. Whatever. I can't channel the low voice right now. I'm like too anxious. So, get up, Ollie gruffed. Dee just registered that she was still fucking Macy, and Macy was still laughing. Macy was the kind of person who laughed at the most gruesome parts of the horror film and on roller coasters. It made sense to Dee that they'd sometimes laugh through a CNC scene with their partner of 2 years, but the combination was not something they'd ever seen before. They'd been with Macy while she was the only person laughing in a theater, and knew that she and Ollie had the dynamic, but hadn't thought the two relevant. Okay, repetition. The integration of her civilian pleasure and pleasure at pain into her sexual life brought Dee joy. Yeah, you love this. You fucking love this, Macy. Tell me how much, you silly little bitch. You can all read, okay? My mom. You look at me when you're talking to me and enunciate. Macy turned her head to the side and craned her neck to get as close eye contact with Ollie as she could. Her ass was back up in the air, and Dee could feel her core was completely engaged. It was as if she was holding a modified Sphinx pose on top of them. I'm sorry, ma'am, is this better? Dee could feel the gentle coolness of air passing over Macy's cum, and wondered what it would be like if it was them who had made her cum, could make her cum. But not Macy, no, not Macy. They couldn't think about anybody, but they couldn't think about anybody but Macy. Much, stay like that. Macy did what she was told. I love this, I love how you use me. I love that everyone can see. I love that Dee is watching me. I'm so happy, laughter. Descending into a fit of giggles. The person on Dee's clit was sucking in time with Ollie's thrusts until the four of them in the bedside of the orgy, uniting the four of them in the bedside of the orgy. She loves that I'm watching her? The situation was starting to get dire. Dee needed to act on their green ribbon. I need to fuck. And they wanted to fuck Maya. Where was Maya? If she was the mystery fillator, they thought that by then she would have emerged, popped up for at least a brief moment to grin over Macy's back before returning to their cock. They thought about asking for her, but Ollie was close. There was a little voice calling out to them from deep within the pit of their stomach, needing to fuck, somewhere out there, beyond Macy and Ollie. Maybe they could wait until Ollie came, Macy would finally collapse, exposing the human, and possibly give them someone to fuck. Someone to fuck would be nice right now, but getting head for this long was also an incredibly fantastic consolation prize. Ollie put her hand on the space between Macy's shoulders and pressed her down, flattening her onto Dee. Macy's head was still tilted up to look at Ollie. She could feel what was about to happen. "Look at me when you come, ma'am?" Macy asked, hopefully. With the knowledge of their toy-ma'am dynamic, the question in her voice made Dee feel like she doesn't always give Macy that pleasure. This wasn't going to be one of those days. Ollie came without any words, making unblinking eye contact with Macy. She released a long, low moan. Lifting herself up onto all fours and shaking her ass, Macy craned her neck again to look back at her dominant. That was so yummy, ma'am. So yummy, ma'am. Thank you. Then she turned her gaze to Dee as she continued to praise Ollie. So yummy. That was so yummy, Dee. Dee, you feel so good under me. I wish you were here with me, that you could feel this. I wish you could feel this and see how good it is. How good it feels for me. What? I did, kinda. I was here. I saw I was here. I saw it. Dee's eyes slowly opened to see Maya on top of them. I saw Maya? Maya, what are you? Oof, that's the sound. She was straddling Dee. What happens next? Okay, so if that wasn't like fucking hilarious enough for you, for this show, yes, it's all poetry and prose reading, and 2 comedians. So, first up we have MG, and I will tell everyone now, because I have the list of people who signed up. We're obviously on YouTube. Hello, this is a great view of me. We're on YouTube right now. If you don't want your reading or performance to be saved on YouTube, we'll pause it. Sorry, YouTube people. And then resume the event on YouTube, like, thereafter. So all I have to do is say, like, please pause it, and we will pause it, and it'll be just ephemeral for us right now. Okay, anyway, MG!
Wow. Cool. Time. I'm gonna put my phone on a tripod, even though we're getting recorded on a laptop. And press record, and we'll zoom in by like 1. No, we won't. No, we won't. No, and that's fine. That's totally fine. I'm gonna get this, and is anyone flustered? Okay. Oh, yeah. Cool. It's hard because you know, like most comedy shows I go to are like the least horniest place. It's like every insecurity is just like on blast. Like the last mic I went to, there was someone cute there. I went to meet them and immediately was like, "You want to see a picture of this girl butt chugging NyQuil?" You know, like it's just like everything kind of leaves, like any kind of like game like leaves. So like being in like a pink room and stuff, even the wow, and like, you know, Laura, we're good friends. Like,
It's fiction, MG!
it's fiction! And so, you know, it just yeah, it's just like a different vibe. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I also love that the zine's called Fucking Transplants. I just got them. I used to have this joke where I was like, when my boyfriend spits in my mouth, it makes me more of a native New Yorker, because they are from Queens. But we broke up.
Yay!
I know. Yeah, you know, first out lesbian breakup. Yeah, first sober breakup. Yeah, is right. Yeah, Yeah, let's say, oh, like I got injured in kickball in high school. That sounds good. It was always the hottest person to do it too, you know? Like, that really is how it went. First sober breakup. You know, I figured out I was gay late in life. You know, like when you're an alcoholic, I'm an alcoholic, and then you're like awake for sex. Later, you learn stuff. So like, I was getting in touch with my roots by watching The L Word, and like, I really get why Phyllis lost her shit now. Like, I really get it. I get why all of them did. Like, no one told me that like, sex that I like would like make me this crazy. Holy shit, like this emotional terrorist had me writing poems. I was writing poems. The sex was so good. And you know, like the sex was so good. I was being what I learned is called a pillow princess, but I didn't feel like pillow princess. You know, it felt more like wide receiver what I was doing. Like you know, I was like catching stuff. I guess that was like my pussy being like, I was catching some big stuff, and you know, would I call it work? No, but it's also like, you know, do what you love, you never work a day in your life. So I don't know. The sex is gone. I know, boo. Yeah, the reason we broke up is because we realized that they are poly and I am not. I know, boo. I really tried. I really gave it the college try. I like read a lot of books. I read some of one book. Called, I don't know if you've heard of it, it's called Polysecure. Yeah, and I was working double time, okay? I would be sitting on the train looking cute, being like, does anyone hot see that I'm reading Polysecure? And I didn't finish it, we broke up before I could finish it. It's a good read, and like, I did get a lot of use out of the graphs, and I just think like, you know, great graphs, great book. We'll finish it at some point, you know? Oh my God, yeah, Polysecure, damn. I was also, you know, there's only like a certain number of times that older people on Reddit can tell you you're a swinger before you just like accept that like, you're not gonna do it, you know? But then you read that story and I was like, I gotta figure something out, you know? I was like, I can't not have an orgy for my 35th birthday. Yeah! So we'll see. I'm like, maybe if the person's nice to me, I can be poly. Oh no! You know, when you're a people pleaser and your partner's poly, it only feels like they're cheating. Yeah, good times. You know, like we had this really dumb rule. This is a stupid rule, don't do this. Oh no, that's my CGM, I have diabetes. Sorry, just a second. Oh, no. That's fine. Okay, give it up for type 1 diabetes. Okay, so we had a dumb rule. It was, yeah, you got it too?
I got it.
Hey! Do you use the Dexcom?
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah, it does suck. It's always like bang, bang, bing, bing, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like I'm trying to, you know.
While you're sleeping, while you're fucking.
Yeah, while you're fucking. Yeah, I am kind of happy. I'm like, when my ex hears that bing bong, like they're gonna remember me. You know? Like, I'm like, that'll haunt. You know, I'm the only type 1 diabetic they're ever gonna be able to love, I hope. But yeah, we had this rule that was like just casual, right? Like we were like, you know, just casual outside the relationship. Turns out you can't like control your feelings. Oh my God. And they were like, you know, it's just casual. This person I'm seeing who like says I'm the best thing that happened to them all year, and they're like gonna take me to the opera, and I was like, why don't I just casually slit my wrists in front of you? Like that sounds casual. Not a good rule. Yeah, but you know, that's, what are you supposed to do? You're just like, no, we're gonna do it. You can, a lie is a wish your heart makes, you know? I don't know. So like, that's cool. Like one thing that sucks about being like, okay, I'm probably not poly is that like I feel 20% less hot. Because like, when someone is like super poly, like there is a vibe of like, well, at any point, like you could possibly get it, you know? And like it's giving hope, it's giving horniness, it's giving secure attachment, you know? And like here I am being like, please only kiss me, like, you know, like one person overwhelms me. It's giving like bad organizational skills. Like it's giving polysaturated with just one person. So that's a pretty fun. Yeah, you know, I didn't get to the end of polysecure, so one thing I still don't get is non-hierarchical polyamory. And like, stay with me. I know some of you are like really sucking and fucking, and like, I'm happy for you. But like, you know, I was going on dates with this like hot but evil welder, right? Some people really get that, and some people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? So like, what I'm talking about is like, if you've ever met a lesbian welder, it's like the hottest thing in the world. I don't know how to explain it. It's like the big apron. They're wearing big apron and like fire and mask. Yeah. Yep. And you're like, weld me. Like, and like, what would that even look like? I don't give a shit. Like, do it. Just do it. Like, kill me, you know? Yeah. So I'm dating this hot but evil welder, and I know they're poly, it's on their profile, whatever, you know, we're like dating. I know about their kid, I know about their weird subletter, I know about their dog. So we get to the 5th date, and they're like really nervous. And I'm like, what's going on? They're like, well, you know I'm poly, right? And I was like, well, yes, you know, like it's on your profile. Like I met you on Field. Like we're, yeah, I know you're poly. And then, you know, they were like, well, my partner of 7 years. Yeah. And I was like, oh, your partner of 7 years. That's a wife. And also I was like, your spouse. And then I started crying. And the cool thing about like having emotions, I guess, is that like you don't know what they mean until like 24 hours later. I'm like, is anyone with me there? Like, you're like, I'm crying, but like, I don't know. So they were like, oh no, why are you crying? And I was like, I just think it's really nice. And they were like, yeah, you know, it's like, I don't see it as a hierarchy, like you're all equal in my eye, you know. And I was like, okay, like, well, okay, so like imagine we're going on like a hike because we're all gay. And like, we get to the top of the cliff, we're like, wow, nice view. And then a bad guy shows up with a gun and puts the gun to the evil hot welder's head and says like, okay, you have to push one of these people off the cliff. Like, and it can't be yourself. Like, we all wish it could be ourselves, but it can't be ourselves, you know, in this hypothetical. And like, what is evil welder gonna do? Be like, I don't know, it's a toughie. Like, they're just so non-hierarchical in my eyes. My like so much better than you eyes. Hot but evil welder, thank you. Is that, yeah, bong bing bong. No, I got it. Dexcom, baby, let's go. Oh, it's high. Yeah, well, I ate a muffin.
What kind?
I'm like suing a Morning Glory from like a juice press. I know. All right, we're turning that off. Oh, thank you, I'm sorry. Okay, so I think I only have like a minute left. 3 minutes? Oh, you were giving me this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't do this one.
Oh, you don't do this one, you do this one.
Yeah, but now it's fascist, I'm sorry.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay,
That's from, like,
I'm gonna Google that
Oh,
later.
great, it's old. I'm old, it's fine. It's not fascist anymore.
Okay.
It's not fascist anymore, don't worry, we're fine.
Oh, thank God. Because people are always like, how you doing? And I'm like, also I'm like, what do the bandanas mean? I just bought the pink one.
This one means I like fisting.
Oh.
Oh, the light color one?
Yeah, light pink.
I think that one's tit torture. Or is it a dildo fucker?
Well, I don't want that. Okay. I just like divine. I'm like wide receiving, yes, fisting, yes. But like, yeah, I'll get fisted, but like torture. Ouch. Owie. Oh, doesn't have to be that bad.
No.
Can I get a handkerchief that says a little torture, but it can't be that bad? Just a tid. It's like really crazy to be this horny in public. I don't know if it's like, woo, oh wow. Cool, let's think. Let's talk about some rainy. I've been sober for almost 3 years. Oh my God, thank you. It is a public health thing I'm doing. It's for everyone, not just me. But one thing I like to think about is that, so in the 12-step program I'm in, there's a step where you have to like make amends. And I was like, okay, but what about the you're welcomes? Like, what about all the cool shit I did when I was blackout? Like, one time I was driving with this man because I thought I was straight, and we were both drunk, and he was driving me to a Motel 6 so that we could flop like dead fish on top of each other for a while. And he whipped out his dick and was like, roadhead? And I was like, no. Because when I was a teenager, I read in 17 magazine about a girl who gave someone roadhead, caused an accident, and shattered her pelvis.
Oh my God.
And I signed a declaration in the magazine that I would never, ever do it! Yeah! And he was like, okay, whatever. Or like, what about the car I chased? That was cool, you're welcome. What about all the old men I yelled at? You're welcome. I don't know, I think I just, it wasn't all bad. One time I got on top of a skee ball table during a karaoke contest and I almost got kicked out, but then I won and I'm like, you're welcome. I think I'll leave y'all with this. So I'm an identical twin. Thank you. Have we ever kissed? No. That's a question that we used to get asked a lot when we were teens. But I know being a twin is really crazy. Have we kissed? No. Can we read each other's minds? Kind of. So, like in 2018 or so, I was running in Dansko Clogs. I was going to a film shoot. Thank you. The cool thing about Dansko Clogs is that they do everything high heels do while making you look down to earth. So you're like, my ass is up, but like, oh, I'm ugly, So I was like running. And then there was like this dude in scrubs. Like he was like respectably hot. Like I don't want to fuck a man, but like I can respect the craft, right? So like he was like, where are you going? And I was like, wouldn't you like to know? And then I like tripped in the Dansko Clogs, like over, like I was like flying in the air, and I was like, oh God. And then broke my wrist in 2 places, right? Yeah, hot EMT comes running. A bunch of people get a chair out of a deli, so I'm like sitting in this chair, he has my arm like this, and he's calling my identical twin sister Kelly because she's my emergency contact. And so they're on the phone, he's like, yeah, we're going to NYU Lincoln, boo, but we didn't know yet. So then, so I listen, he says, we have to reset the bone here, or you're gonna need surgery. And I was like, I'd rather you didn't, like that sounds really bad. And I was like, I'm gonna throw up. And he was like, no, you're not. And I was like, okay. And so then I was looking at the crosswalk because I didn't want to see it happen, and I saw Paul Rudd cross the street. I know, random. I was like, oh my God, look, it's Paul Rudd. And then the EMT said, who's that?
Oh no.
Thank you. And I said, it's Ant-Man. And then he said, say hello to Ant-Man. And then he yoinked my bone. And I went blind. Like, I saw a white infinity. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't remember this, but apparently my screams were so loud that it caused my sister to have something called a vasovagal response. And she, like, immediately had diarrhea. And so, like, yeah, like, twins aren't gonna kiss, but, like, my screams will make her shit, and like, way more beautiful. Gotta end with people. Thanks so much, guys.
Holy crap.
Okay. MG's fucking hilarious, right? That's all sex, right? There's 3 beautiful chairs in the front of this room if anyone wants to sit on the stage. Or 1 chair next to MG. Cool. I feel like I need to come up with like a million compliments right now because at my last event I was like, I did something weird and I was like, fuck, I have to compliment everyone now. But like, I don't know, you're beautiful and like hilarious and that shirt looks really good on you and I love those shoes. They're definitely high heels, but like it's fine, they're lesbians, fine.
I love you so much.
I love you too. I'm also sober. I have a lot of your welcomes to give. But also too many amends, so we're just not on that step yet. And we have Ezra up now. Ezra, woo! And then, on deck, we have Santana, followed by Andy. No, come on, Ezra, you're up. So you made the mistake of signing up 3rd, but nobody ever signs up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I signed up Andy 5. And I signed up Santana 4.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so
And you did it. It's okay, but you're really 3 now, because 1, 2, 3, so you're good.
Yes.
Boom. Take it away. Oh, and I'll give you like 2 minutes when you're, if you.
2 minutes, you're fine. I'm only reading 1.
Oh, okay, well,
Can you guys hear me?
yes.
Yes!
Perfect. Okay. Little bit about me. My name's Ezra. I moved here 2 weeks ago. It's funny because everyone's like, why did you move? And it's, the answer is I didn't want to be in Denver anymore.
Yeah!
Real.
But the funny thing about Denver is we also call everybody transplants. Because everybody's moving there. And so they're like, you're native? Yes.
Not anymore!
But now I'm a transplant, so, you know, that's the other thing I transitioned into. But also my pronouns are they, them, just full disclaimer. But I wrote this on the way here because I didn't have anything. So this is like new, and I'm one of those writers where like I have to send it to 6 people before I see any of the mistakes. So this is unedited.
Yes!
Yeah.
There's no
Yes!
Fresh snow dances like diamonds, not the rhinestones at the door or the rusty inset on my mother's wedding ring. Fresh snow cackles and pirouettes across your eyes. It burns your retinas and judges you from melting treetops. Fresh snow can only dance under untouched sunlight. The moon stands in solemn grief, still, quietly hunched over the backs of lampposts. Muted figures that tracked the tears in your eyes and said nothing. Sunlight only dances on ice and untouched snow. We are gathered here to witness your pain. The remains of your footprints say nothing. Find something to blame. Be angry that it doesn't matter. Baptism in blood. You wanted to be somebody they were proud of. Bone spray and artery shatters. Hold a trial for yourself. Place your head on the plow. You wanted it out loud. The cacophony of the fire. You wanted this and you got the snow. Frozen snow exploding in the light. Street side fireworks. The last whore left in the brothel. A light from the rooftops. Dancing like diamonds. I have a poetry account. I occasionally update it. Bloodborne Poetry on Instagram. It's Bloodborne with an E. If you want it, just come find me.
Whoa! Oh my god, I forgot who's after. Hold on, Santana and then Andy and then who? Oh my god, whoa. Okay, well that was fucking awesome. Welcome to New York. Sick poet. I don't even want to know what your edited stuff sounds like. Holy crap. I mean, that's a lie. I super do. Come back, please. Come back. You're amazing. Yeah, and welcome to New York. It's apparently been waiting for you. Santana, it's your time. And also, I'm new to hosting events. I'm so sorry. You can totally tell us your pronouns. Tell us how we can find you on socials. Let's all be a big community.
Oh dear God. Okay.
You got this.
Y'all are also getting 0 eye contact because this is the first time I'm reading my fiction in front of anyone.
Yeah!
Okay. Ooh. Alright. This is all the eye contact you're gonna get. Hi, I'm Santana. My pronouns are she, they, and really quick for context, because this is an excerpt from a larger piece. This is a smut scene from a novella that I worked on a couple years ago about a werewolf butch and a vampire femme in love. So yeah, I might bring it back. Maybe.
Yeah.
Returning to the scene definitely made me want to. Okay.
You rock.
Thanks. The light from the vanity was dim, so the shadows produced by it didn't quite stretch across the bed, but she didn't need shadows cast by light. Any darkness would do. The shadows surrounding them drew toward her, formed thin lines that wove together the way Pandora had styled her hair, until they formed a length of pitch-black rope, ephemeral, and yet enough to loop between Pandora's bound wrists and the belt. The length pulled taut, and Pandora's eyes widened. Vera could hear her heart skip a beat, see the way her chest rose and then froze when her breath caught. And when their eyes met, her tan skin flushed such a lovely shade. Is this something you want? I know I said you could never hurt me, but I was still curious if this would appeal to you. She reached up and brushed her hand over Pandora's bound wrists. Pandora nodded as much as she comfortably could with her arms stretched above her head. Yes, she said, still breathless. What do I say if I want out? She doubted she would ask for it, but just to be sure. Vera hummed and then trailed her hand down Pandora's arm again before cupping her face. Let's try colors for now. I got it then. I looked that stuff up before, and one of my friends talked to me a lot about, well, you know, she trailed off. She had so many fantasies, but she didn't think she would get to try them, especially any that centered on her being the helpless one for once. Turned out she didn't need to be the smaller partner for it to happen. Vera raised a brow and her hand slid lower. Have you? We'll need to talk about that for another time, but for now. She sadly moved off Pandora's stomach, bowing over her as she had before. Only this time Pandora couldn't do anything but tune into every touch. Vera was gentle, of course, but there was more intent behind her movements. She kissed a trail across Pandora's collarbone, down her sternum, between her breasts while her hands wandered down her sides. She planted a knee between Pandora's thighs again, but didn't apply enough pressure. When Pandora started to squirm, trying to wriggle down just enough to press fully against Vera's thigh again, two hands grabbed her hips and pushed her back up. Her whole body lurched, and she was shocked enough that she actually let out a small yelp. She picked her head up to stare down at Vera just in time to see her lover adjust herself and bow her head to drag her tongue over one of her nipples. Vera pressed down on her hips to keep her where she was as she tortured her. So, not that much though, not that much. slowly, dragging her tongue over her nipple, over and over again before sucking on it with steadily increasing pressure, but not that much. Her knee was still just barely too low for Pandora to grind against it, and the other side of her chest was completely neglected, making her focus that much more on Vera's mouth. She felt like her heart was going to escape her ribcage, and she knew Vera had to not only hear it, but feel it beneath her skin. Her fangs had not yet emerged, but Pandora desperately wanted them to. Vera held her there, savoring her skin, and the desperate noises Pandora was clearly trying to hide until she got what she really wanted. Please, Vera, I'm sorry, but please, can I have more? Her voice was soft, breathless, higher in pitch than Vera had ever heard it. Poor thing, she sounded so sweet. Vera picked up her head and licked her lips. She could keep this up until dawn. Clearly, Pandora couldn't escape her grip or the shadow that bound her. Beg me one more time, puppy, and maybe I'll be nice. Pandora had already looked desperate, her entire face reddening, her brows knit together in the most pathetic pout. Upon hearing that, however, her tail began to wag, and a glassiness swept over her gaze. Please, mistress, majesty, whatever you want me to say, please, Vera, give me more. I've been good, haven't I? Vera let go of her hips and moved further down. At first, the lack of contact made Pandora's hips lift off the bed in search of friction, but she settled back down again as soon as Vera grabbed one of her thighs. You have, love. You've been such a good girl. She hoisted one of Pandora's muscular legs over her arm and then sat back on her feet so she could rest her lover's calf on her shoulder. Pandora couldn't even cover her face as Vera exposed her so completely. So she squeezed her eyes shut as she felt Vera's lips against her skin again, and those familiar blunt nails raking their way up her thigh. She knew it was coming, but she still gasped when she felt Vera's hand between her thighs. It wasn't as cold as it normally was. Touching her when she was practically giving off steam had that effect. Vera could feel the wet patch on her suit pants that Pandora was ready for a finger or more, but she had to tease her first. Did this not load? Oh no! Wait, I don't mean to blue ball y'all. I actually added a couple more. I added a couple of more paragraphs and it didn't load. Hold on, 1 second. Hold on. Hold on. No, like I'm signing into the center's Wi-Fi. I was like, wait, hold on. I gotta, damn.
Torture.
I'm so, just a little though, just a little bit. Oh my
This
goodness.
is heavy torture.
I'm so sorry. Hold on. I gotta put in my whole email address? What the fuck? Hold on.
3 letters at gmail.com.
Hold on. 3 letters at gmail.com. Hold on. Just dyke at gmail.com. I have, guys, I'm so sorry. What do you mean my email isn't valid? That's bullshit. That is the center's fault. That's not my fault. Wow.
Can you change your Wi-Fi to our store Wi-Fi?
Sure. Okay. Damn. Okay. Oh, I feel so bad.
Live television. Just use the stores.
Yeah.
Okay.
Connected. Okay. Please load. Guys, I'm genuinely so sorry. Let me just grab my phone.
You rock.
Hold on. Hold on. Just remember, I turned my phone off. Hold on. I forgot my power bank, and I was like, oh, it's gonna die before I go home because it's 1,000 years old. So, just praying, I guess. It's currently sinking. Oh, it loaded. Okay, we're good. Thank you for bearing with me. All right. Circle back a little bit. Vera could feel the wet patch on her suit pants that Pandora was ready for a finger or more, but she had to tease her first. She parted the dark curls in her way with 2 fingers before sliding them along the slick, warm lips of Pandora's pussy. She watched as Pandora squeezed her eyes shut tighter, even as she bent her other leg to open herself up more. Pandora was on the verge of begging again when she just barely feels Vera sliding her fingers slowly up and down, just barely brushing her swollen clit before teasing her whole. What else could she possibly say? Did Vera want her to beg in Greek, Spanish, French? She probably spoke all of the above. Rather than anything coherent, Pandora whines and finally tries to tug against her restraints. She finds with a combination of excitement and frustration, she couldn't move her arms at all. Vera chuckled and finally pushed 2 of her slender fingers into Pandora. Keep trying that, puppy, it won't get you anywhere. Pandora wanted to answer her. She did. She could only whimper in response to Vera curling both fingers and stroking her slick walls from the inside. She pulled harder, the muscles in her biceps bulging as she strained against the nebulous shape of a rope keeping her in place. Then Vera, plunging her fingers deeper, took the fight out of her for a moment. Vera's fingers didn't stretch her out that much, not yet, but they were nimble. She curled and thrust them swiftly, prying more strangled noises from Pandora until she added a third, and finally her lover caved. Pandora's mouth hung open as she pressed her palm right against her lover's pussy to bury all 3 fingers. Her palm ground against Pandora's swollen clit and made her back arch off the bed. No running away, puppy, not unless you say the word, she said. There may have been a haughty tone in her voice, but she couldn't help it. She was laying waste to this gorgeous warrior of a woman so easily, and she had just started. She kept her arm wrapped around Pandora's leg, bowing down so her lover could bend her knee and more easily grind against her palm. Pandora shook her head. No, please, Vera, please, don't stop. Even in this state, chasing the rapidly increasing rush as she bucked her hips, she couldn't make a demand of Vera. She would probably sob if her lover stopped now, but she would let her. Of course she would. Vera seemed to very much enjoy her begging. She leaned forward, forcing Pandora's thigh further back, and pushed her own thigh against her hand to press her fingers deeper. She felt Pandora clench around her as a stuttering gasp tore from her, but it wasn't enough. She curled her fingers faster, searching for the spot where her throbbing clit would feel internal pressure as well. And she knew she had found her target when Pandora let out a string of curses and her hips lurched off the bed. The thick muscle of her thighs went taut, and she yanked on the shadows under Vera's command. She couldn't do more than struggle, however, as Vera rubbed harder. Vera felt her squeezing over and over, a broken moan echoing off the stone walls as she came. Her legs trembled and she squirmed, still tugging at her restraints until Vera slowly withdrew her fingers. Pandora melted into the sheets beneath her, chest heaving with breaths that didn't seem to be helping her at all. She was dizzy, she felt like her veins were filled with a river of molten bliss, and her vision was blurred as she opened her eyes. Vera was still where she had been, settled between her spread legs with dark hair pouring off one shoulder. It kept tickling the leg over her shoulder, and Pandora made a sound halfway between a wheeze and a laugh. "Are you okay, love?" Vera asked. Her voice was soft, but Pandora couldn't see her face clearly enough to know how she looked. Pandora nodded. "Yeah." Her head was spinning in the best way. She could feel herself grinning, but she didn't even bother to feel self-conscious about it. "Good, because I'm not nearly done with you yet."
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, amazing. Okay, so we need a book from Santana, right? We need a book. We need a book. Also, matching the outfit with the mask. So fire. So great. Great. So fashionable. Oh my God. I love everyone. Happy Valentine's Day to me.
We love you too.
We love you too.
Oh God, stop. It's not like half of you are my friends.
Looking for a bad bitch.
Not the Yin Yang Twins! Okay, I do actually need a dime that's top of the line, but all the qualifiers about aesthetics and beauty and stuff, we don't need that part, but yeah. Big behind would be cool too, but that's fine. Anyway, okay, we have Andy now, and then we have Venus with 3 hearts, and then we have more comedy, but this time from Blair! Okay.
Hey, yeah, my name is Andy. I have 3 poems. The first one is about yearning, the second one is about sucking dick, and the third one is about loving trans femmes. So that's obviously what I'm actually here to read. But yeah, the first one does not have a title yet. I don't know. All right. Actually, yeah. In my mind, it always has something to do with geography, like mapping out all of the places in this bar I could visit, and thereby slide my body close enough to yours to make contact unavoidable, the speaker creating an awkward corner behind your back. My body angled towards yours, leaving your face for the sips you take from your drinks that make me wonder if you're nervous around me. Hand-pitched and rushing on precise track from table to mouth to table. Always down to inhale, love the cold, being privy to gossip. Your eyes are over there, your feet point another direction. I spend times waiting nodded. I'm wondering about my obsession with orientation, both your approach and retreat, imagining you always with a cigarette in my mouth, imagining you always in a cocktail dress and wax dripping onto the floor, you always in lines my fingers trace, you dangle, hold a joint stiff and loose it, you slapped me. My thumb wants to trace the veins in your neck, flatten them slowly against your skin so I can see them twitch. This is romantic. I don't think we'll ever lay in bed and order a pizza, watch a movie. There's almost enough time, except you and I have one pillow each before you say anything. It's not just you. It always takes a moment to notice a person's eyelashes. That's not just you. And how what happens in the meantime is working at the wound so hard you forget it's a mirror, your skin breaks, the room is half the size. Recall that I and my grandmother have no maps in our heads. I was only playing in my reflection, remembering how making you bleed was really about the shape of my front teeth. Between the lock on the door and the small of my back and your ass against the seat, there's nowhere to go, no room for tracing shapes. That leaves my car or the bathroom. My sense of space leaves something to be desired.
That was wrong.
Okay. Number 2. This one does have a title. This one is called I Am Granted the Power of Speech. During. My neck an open wound around your teeth, I said, try to count how many times your muscles twitch. The thing is, this sort of suggestion makes stage presence awkward. So at this moment, you swoop in and you brush your feathers gently over his eyelids. I told you it's never too late to make your body look the way you want it to, and he gasps. I might be to the point of being able to roll a joint with my eyes closed, but to say so would unfairly emphasize my prowess. Next time, I'll try not to say anything, sleeping in close proximity to indecent and invitation, my head and your legs, looking up the hardest act in the performance, my eyes and your eyes cast down. I imagine the writing and the bones of a good idea, calculate how much time I've spent using my mouth, value the production of saliva I can twist around my finger. I lied when I said I didn't have any tricks. I lied when I said I didn't have any videos. You whispered when you told me about your daddy. I tucked it away for safekeeping, for sliding the taste under my tongue, and nothing else happened, and it kept not happening, and that was the best part. Okay. And this one is called The Friendly Neighborhood T-Boy Chaser Poem. I wrote the other two so I could read this one, like, just to be clear. I mean, I had kind of written them before, but like I wrote the other two so I could read this one. Also, just so you know, the only other time I've read in an open mic as an adult, someone asked me out afterwards because they like my poetry, so if anyone wants to help me keep that streak going, don't be shy. Okay. This is The Friendly Neighborhood T-Boy Chaser Poem. Okay. I know that's you in the photograph with the angles. Yes, outside of the frame. You will not fry for natural sins, you stinking degenerate, nor be served on a plate of greens. I love the way your armpits smell. You make me want to lie on a couch and give up, which is to say, hope that next time I swallow your cock in a public bathroom, the dude a stall over, deeply suspicious of transsexuals, will feel inspired to purchase a zine from his local bookstore. All I want is a word for accomplishment that does not rely on drive for productivity. We talk about mothers, and I think about reproduction, but then I get distracted, obviously. I reject the be yourself of it all. I am becoming, and coming, and coming. Sex is so much talk. Sorry for crying. I don't want to romanticize it. You don't have to stay if you don't want. You build frames and sit apart. You are not the same today. I am happily left in your dust. Clean up after, like any good boy, and run. If I may be so bold as to compliment you, I can go downstairs and, of course, keep my passenger seat clear of empty Celsius cans so you can sit pretty in it. I don't know if I can manage that last one.
Okay, compliment. Okay, well that was really fucking hot. You're a great poet. Thank you for reading. If anyone else is inspired, like next time we do this event, write something on the train. read us a text or have like fucking amazing poems just like in your back pocket or whatever. Yeah, I'm working on the Chaser story right now. Yeah. So the Chaser in me sees the Chaser in you, and whatever. And Celsius cans. Great outfit, also. That's your compliment.
Thank you.
Fantastic outfit. Okay, Venus with 3 hearts, and then comedy from Blair, and then Evie with 1 heart.
Oh shit, sorry. Yeah.
I love poetry, the mix that sits in you. Thank you for that. I'm gonna read 2 poems. I've not read these poems in a few months, but I have them with me. They're about bitches. That's one of the few things I write about. So, thank you. I think they're both about spring, which is, one's about summer, one's about spring. The first one's about spring because we are entering spring, allegedly. But, yeah. Oh my god, okay. The groundhog didn't see its shadow, so there's an early spring on our heels. Green threatening to bloom like a shiv on this hardened earth, soft and swift. The honeysuckles, they grow back as if their dormancy has suddenly become an unbroken spell. Their white petals opening and revealing the yellow of their tongues, their nectar drops in the single digits. The sky is still getting used to waking up golden, and your lips are still lingering on my cheek even an hour after they have finished landing. I'm too familiar with spring. I'm inclined to new life, robin's eggs newborn blue, your hand that fits snug against my palm. The promise kept in a finger tracing hearts in deep patches. And then here's the second one called Butch Summer. I write one for every season. So this is the right? This is the summer one. Summer rolls around like a good flu. Not an insufferable haze like the red clayed earth back home, but a comfortable fog. The head swarming with humidity. The touch of your skin against mine is even better. A high of tongue swishing around a desert mouth. The feeling of teeth against summery flesh. And I love you. Your butch summertime glow, the bushels of sweltering sun gathered in your hands, an onslaught of marigold kisses. Eyes as brown as the centers of sunflowers. What I mean is, you make the summer better. What I mean is, it would be simple to take your face in my hands, kiss the humid breath of June from your mouth.
Oh, Blair's not that tall. Okay.
Jerk it.
Absolutely not. Wow. That was wonderful. I love the range. I love the range that we have of just pure fucking and delicate, loving touch and joy. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. What to say about Blair? We knew each other like passively for a while, like, and then we re-met because, was it your friend? Yeah, her friend and I both posted on Lex when we were both in Canada on different trips, and each responded to each other's Lex posts. And now I feel like Blair is my friend, and you can dispute that if you want on the mic. I would be very embarrassed. I'd be incredibly embarrassed. And you'd be like, actually, yeah, exactly. You'd be like, fuck this bitch. But yeah, Blair rocks. Blair, you rock. I'm excited for your comedy, and I hope everyone else is too. Are you excited? Yeah! Okay, great. Yay, Blair!
I am your friend, Blair.
Yay!
All right, this is also new shit today, so maybe not as polished as MG, but written on the train. as well.
That's right.
Um,
Not the shirt.
All right, Laura, thank you for bringing me here like as a cold shower. I thought about like my place here and what I should do, and I figured like after a lot of hot poetry and prose, like maybe we should just like remember that we're in a bookstore with fluorescent lighting. Be a good femdom, edge everyone, and by doing so, just bring you back down to earth just a little bit, and then we can get back on this in 7 minutes or so. I've engaged with smut and porn for most of my life. I love smut and porn. Like, hot take in this room. But I think I started engaging it with it when I was like 8 years old, like 2004 or so. Like that first Bush Cheney /fic just really did it. All downhill from there. And I'm still in my Bush era, if anyone is interested. But one thing that I love about good porn, and I think that you get by having exposed yourself to it for so long, is you can get really specific about kinks. I remember in like 2010, I discovered like mummification bondage, right? Never would have found out what that was. Does anyone not know what this is? No, so it's mummification bondage. It's not a way you like prevent artifacts from like going to the British Museum. It's you essentially like lie down and you are totally wrapped up in saran wrap or white tape. If you want like an orifice out or a utility, like that can stay out, but otherwise somebody could dump your body and no one would know, right? But I think also with that specificity, there is a danger of like types, right? You learn what you get off to in your life so early, and then you can get specific within that type, but like that is what does it for you. Like, so I'm gonna pull up my Reddit right now, which I use on a nightly basis. And just like some of the, just scrolling down, stop there. Okay, so this is my letter F on my subreddits that I'm subscribed to. So we have our femboy dom, our femboy hooters, our femboy with an S. There's multiple of them there. Femboys for real, femboys in hentai, femboys FTM, femcock, femdom, feminine boys, and Formula One. That's the last one. But
Where are the Formula fanboys?
they exist. So I think I've gotten very specific in my type, at least with men. I am also into women. I'm not like crazy, but my type in men. Does anyone remember like Gregor Mendel?
Oh my god.
The genetics guy.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not going into eugenics. Don't worry. But so my type in men is like a dihybrid cross. That like table, anything in there. Between like a Twinkie Tinkerbell and like a hot Dilbert. And anything in there can work for me. That's where I usually end up with men. But when you get like one of the parents, right? The Twinkerbell or like the ripped Dwight Schrute, like those are dangerous for me. I lose a little bit of myself and yeah, like for instance, I fell in not love, but lust with the Twinkerbell when I was in college. I was a cam boy for a year because that's the only way he would fuck me. Didn't even pay for books. Yeah, really bad time. And I got myself also into a polyamorous triad. How do people feel about the word triad actually? Like, if you're gonna use it, okay, we got one, all right, Juniper fucks with triad. What are other words that y'all would use for like 3 people in a couple? Throuple? That doesn't sound fucking disgusting. It sounds to me like a Victorian age malady or something. Like, she's just got a case of thruples, it's gonna be alright. She'll be out here in no time, right? Like, that's just fucking strange. But I don't, whatever works for you, you're allowed to sound disgusting. I think, unless you are 3 lesbians who really like biking everywhere, in which case you're a trike. I don't make the rules. But I got into this throuple with a Twinkerbell and a Dilbert. And I was so much better than both of these men, but I could not tell that for shit. Like Dilbert, he is banned from every Trader Joe's in the country, and like not for a good reason. Like he didn't union organize too hard. It was the beginning of COVID, and Dilbert walks out of this Trader Joe's with 2 giant bags of produce that he did not pay for and gets arrested. Scarcity mentality, early COVID, but like stupid, fucking stupid, right? If you're gonna steal something from a grocery store, like go to one with a self-checkout, pay for something. Like we've all stolen a little bit from a self-checkout, right? Yeah. My crowning achievement from a self-checkout was an $80 full-size comforter in Olympia, Washington at a Target. And only paid for a pack of gum. You gotta pay for something. And he was also the scarcity mentality that he was feeling at the beginning of COVID. Like I get that, right? You did stupid shit, but this man's parents, he lives in South Carolina, or that's where his home is. They have a 5-foot-tall oil painting on the wall of a horse that they owned that won the Kentucky Derby in 1986.
Whoa.
Like, if he needed fresh produce, he could have gone to the plantation out back. But blinded, very into Dilbert. Right? Twinkerbell, in this instance, I don't want to say too much about him. He's a little stupid. He was a twink. Sorry. He liked to put shoes in the refrigerator.
No.
What?
Has anyone ever heard of this? Okay, I thought this was crazy. What's that?
Is it to stretch them?
No. Wouldn't it do the opposite? Because cold makes shit contract?
No, you freeze them. Sorry, you put them in the freezer, you put it back.
You put a freezer to
Back of
stretch
water,
them.
The water expands into
Oh,
ice.
because water expands in ice. Great. A lot of science in this set tonight. Thank you. It wasn't for any sort of aesthetic reason. Like he did it because if he forgot something, he wanted to have something remind him that he was supposed to bring it. So you bring a book that you don't normally bring out an errand. You need to bring it. So rather than just putting that fucking book by the door, you put your shoes in the fridge, and that will remind you that something has happened, right? Also an idiot, this man. But blinded, right? And the sex was great too, which is also a problem, right? Yeah. Which at least if you're gonna be with 2 idiot himbos, it should be, yeah. They, and this is embarrassing, they actually ended up breaking up with me. Yeah, devastating fucking breakup. 3 days after we came back from Horse House in South Carolina and introduced ourselves as a triad to the family. Yeah. They are still together. Yeah. They're happy, double, or whatever you call it, when 2 people are together. Dyad. I try not to remind myself too much of that, other than to make fun of it. But do we have any members of the puppy girl hacker polycule in here? Anyone's heard of that? All right, we're not going to go into that. But look it up after; it's fun. If you're an internet sleuth like them, you still can find one relic of this relationship. There is a picture of me when I looked like a femboy, wrapped up, limp dick sticking out, in between 2 T-boys, somewhere in a certain subreddit. So if you want to go find that, that's your challenge after tonight. Thank y'all.
Yeah, wow. Oh my god. Woo. I don't understand the himbo thing, not gonna lie. But but I'm so here for you. I'm proud of you, and fuck those guys. But don't, no one fuck them, but fuck them. Oh my god, that was such a journey. I feel like every queer like comedy set of my friends, asterisk, 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 is always such a journey because everyone's hilarious. But wow, you took me to like AP Bio, and then like now I'm over here like shit. What are my parents for the cross? Like I don't actually know. If you want to help me find out, just I'm also available. Questionably poly. Not gonna lie, we don't know about that. We're solo. Yeah, lowercase p, poly. Yeah. Yeah, we're dating school right now, and we're writing a lot of fics. Basically, I'm writing real life fanfic again over here. If you want to be a part of the journey, hit me up. Oh my god. Okay, so we have Evie with one heart, and then do we have Rosarina here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hell yeah! Okay, so we got Evie, then we got Rosarina, and then Maya. Are you reading? Yeah? Okay, then we have Maya.
Thank you, Laura. I'm excited to read Fuckin Transplants for.
Thank you.
So last time I read at an open mic, it was also hosted by Laura. And last time I read at an open mic, it was also something that I had written when it came to me fully formed in a dream. And I don't often have things come to me fully formed in dreams, but 2 in a row. This one also came to me in a dream. This one far less fully formed. This is a poem I wrote called Legends of Crushable Steve. Crushable Steve was a mysterious figure who came to me in my subconscious mind. I don't know who he is. I don't know what his story is, but he left such a remarkable imprint on me that I woke up in a cold sweat, and I wrote the first poem I've written since I was 19. Crushable Steve was a man out of love, some said. Doomed to walk and slow to talk, but he could dance the Bonnie Fritz, fit to make the cattle moan. Damn his hide. Crushable Steve was terrible to behold with the naked eye, standing as he did between the sun at every angle. It said that shades were invented so as to catch him coming into town. Better to get the women folk down cellar, it said, and the men to start shutting up windows. Old Steve could lead a man to sin faster than you could lead a horse to water. That much I know. His moves were hot, without equal among man or beast, quick as a cattail, whiskey on a summer's day. Steve, he could count 10 on a 2-piece at 30 yards or more. He could spin a timber down to picks, tips, stick, and all. But Crushable Steve, there's no common house Jane either. Never let a dill roast sit. Never cooked a cow, he could not live fair and square. Daddy broke a cartwheel out on the path road one winter's night. Before he could say the word, there was Steve, up on the hill, root in hand and ready as a noonday hog. Safe to say Mama doesn't cook oysters anymore, and God bless her for it. You ever mark that shallow valley of flesh above a man's upper lip? The soft set of it like a sanded stroke of God's own chisel. Back home, we call that the Steve's way. On account of the tails. There was a time where men were safe and pants alone. Now tuck a shirt tail loose and you're apt as not to get tossed a breeze. Better men than you have gotten fined a bushel more than the orchard borer, so to speak. That's to say, Crushable Steve could bone and base like a country hare, and with a sprig on top for taste. Now Steve, he gave up shooting before Adam had a holy hair on his brow. Only keeps it on his hip to show you what's what. Gives you a fix like hot lead though. Sure enough. Doesn't seem right. All those fingers and not a trigger between them. Thanks, I have... I have a bunch of little zine cards and I'm trying to give all of them out tonight, so I'll hand you one. I also have a book coming out talking about it.
Can you tell she's not from here? What? Bye, love you. Love you too. Oh my god. People I know can. It's crazy. Deeply embarrassing. Love you all. Oh my god. Okay, crushable Steve. Oh, the hand thing. I used to joke. Actually, I'm gonna keep this joke till I die, probably. I would joke that I was born with 10 dicks. So we have Rosarina, then Maya, and then Sina, and then we hang out, or I read like a really weird poem to you, and then we hang out.
Hi, can you guys keep it going? I too am a stand-up comedian. Thank you so much. It's my third day in New York. I just arrived on Monday. They let me into the country. Yay! I have no. I was happy to be here. So it's my first trip to the US. So I'm really excited to be here. So I'm doing all the cliche movie tours, right? Like all the thing from working girl. I'm old school. I was born in the 1900s, so yes. So a little bit about me. My name is Rosarina Larson, and I'm originally from Malaysia. Great, yeah, great. I live in Sweden. So the trouble about living in such exotic place like that, very exotic and very hot, is that people don't know where Malaysia is from. Or where Malaysia is. I always often get mistaken as other Asians, and I think it's a lot of white people in Sweden. Yeah. Politically correct. I mean to call them Caucasian, right? So this time you have to be careful. So, but I love white people so much that I literally married the first white guy I saw. I just went up to him and said, "Really long time." Yeah. Anyway, so I live there now, and but people are so cool because they have so much confidence in them. I want to be like, I really want to be white if I can choose an identity. It's like they were like, "Oh my God, you're from Malaysia. Oh, you must know my girlfriend Tini. She's from Indonesia." Oh my God. Yeah, true. Yeah. Just let me check my WhatsApp. Tini's there. But the confidence is so much so that sometimes they're like, oh my God, my neighbor, he is also from the Philippines. The word also implies that I am a Philippine, but I don't want to offend white people because so I just play along and accepted that I speak like this and I just develop. But sometimes I play it too well that one time I was standing in the queue outside a bar and somebody was yelling, Tam, which is not my name. But it doesn't stop me from turning around and acknowledging to this guy. I could be Tom to him, right? Well, he was disappointed I was. I'm like, no, but I am every Asian in this country. Just accept me. But it wasn't all that bad because it's kind of superpowers. And you guys are wearing masks, and I remember during COVID, right? With the mask on, there's the perks about being mistaken as the Asian that I realized with the mask on, I could literally step into a nail salon and start working. Oh my God! You're like, nail, $1 for you. I can do it. Anyway, it's a lot about sex talk tonight.
Yeah!
Bit about me, also want to tell I'm no longer in a romantic relationship. I know Valentine's Day tomorrow. Yeah, I'm married. 29 years. I'm glad someone is happy, so good. So I get asked often, sometimes people are impressed, but actually nobody asks, but I imagine someone asks. I also have imaginary friends say, oh, 29 years, that's great, that's a long time to be with somebody. How's sex life with someone such a long time? And I try to explain, like, okay, how is sex like? Sex with someone we have been for a long time. It's really like having a reliable subscription service, streaming service. Whatever you have in your home, Netflix, or I call it Netflix, because they're trying to break my family apart. Now, get this, right? Like my kids all move out, and I paid for 5 people, right? But like they move out, and then they're like, hey, you're no longer living with your mom and dad, so now let's keep you out. I'm like, don't break family apart, Netflix. Come on, you guys are $1 billion company. Let the people be. So anyway, right? Yeah. Anyway, so I said to people, yeah, I want sex, sex with someone based on like having a reliable streaming service, Netflix, whatever you have, or Disney Plus. I mean, it's there, right? It's there 24/7, it's on demand, right? Like, you don't have to do much, that the other morning I was just sleeping and then I just felt, he's just that dude just dick slapped me. I don't have to do much, right? I'm just like, okay. But just like any streaming services, right? Like, everything is on repeat, no? You can do whatever, but like you always end up in a missionary position, you're like, just get on top of it, get a lot. That's also why you end up watching Friends for the 700th time, because it's just there, play again. But just like any streaming services, you can start something if you don't have to finish it, right? Yeah, good. Anyway, but I love the guy, he's still alive. All the true crime I'm watching true crime, like, if anything happens to him tonight, you are all my alibi, I'm here, right? So I'm like, we're trying to spice things up. So when I'm in an open relationship, I know that got you guys interested, right? An open relationship whereby we openly discuss the lack of our sex life with other people. He openly discusses with his mom, I'm pretty sure that, and I choose to openly discuss with all of you tonight. I've been Rosarina Lassen. Thank you so much for having me. Welcome back.
Welcome to New York! That was hilarious. It was great you wore Tim's, very on theme to be wearing Tim's at this event. As the zine is queer, trans sex, you know what I mean? So I have knockoff Tim's. Oh, you want water? Sorry, I'm gonna get you water. Got it. She's like, oh, you're so funny. No, I'm thirsty. Okay, yeah, I know. We're all thirsty. We're all thirsty right now. Okay, just calm down. It's okay. Great. Okay, we got 2 more folks. And do I have another compliment other than nice Tim's? No, my brain is just like Sweden is ridiculous, and I cannot believe you've been there at least 29 years. Yeah. Oh my God. Jesus. Whoa. I told Sina I jokingly taught myself Norwegian. Before I got into drugs, and drugs were so. I'm sober now, so they're not better. But yeah. So I went to Norway, and then I was like, I'll just fucking see the other places, and Sweden. Whoa. Not like Norway is awesome. Norway is also whoa. Yeah. Talk to me about Scandinavia. I love it. Definitely a lot of white people. I was racialized there, which was impressive. I'm half white, but But I had dark hair, and they were like, you're fucking something, okay? And you're gonna tell us all right now. And I was wasted, so I was like, all right, who's gonna guess? It is not a fun game. I do not play the white game. I don't like playing the white game. But, I keep fucking white people, so, it just happens. It just happens. I was talking to my therapist about it today, actually. I was just like, so many white people. Anyway, my therapist is white, but he's like, this is a real problem for you. And I was like, I know, Dr. Kevin, it's such a problem, but they keep hitting hitting on me, and I'm just like, please. Anyway, so if you can shoot a shot if you're white. I do! Come on, someone who knows the yin yang twins at least. Anyway, so I'm shutting up. Maya, come give us. I'm at the park. I'm everywhere. Favorite song. Maya, can you give us some poetry?
Hi. My name is Maya. My pronouns are she, her. I run Discount Guillotine. We got some books, merch, shit back there. My friend was tabling for me earlier because I had a workshop and I texted, I was like, what's the vibes? And he was like, there's a lot of laughing, which is cute. So I came to fuck up the vibe. These first two are new ones. This is called Waitress or God. It's about how the American dream has died and now people enact their dreams of ownership over service employees.
Wow. No, that's real.
I was face fucked and hair pulled. I was the soup of the day. That which once clamored for land is forced to search for discount appetizers for the whole family. A renter's reality. An America that ages backwards. Here's the vibes. Small plates, shareable. I'm high-ponied and fuckable. But I'm unafraid of your inconsistencies. I am not your death sentence. Your husband wants to touch me, but he wouldn't know what to do with his tongue. I touch your fork before it touches your lips. A colonizer's spirit and a taste for fusion food. Everything riding on Friday fun night.
White people!
I just got so nervous at the end of that. That was crazy. Anytime I read a new poem, I'm like, what the fuck? What did I write?
Good shit.
Okay. Yeah, motherfucker vibes. This is there's several people here who are sober. I have been struggling with that recently, so if anybody wants to fuck off real quick or shut your ears, I'm gonna just, this is a trigger warning. I'm so serious though if anybody needs to. Anyway, this is called Molly Tonight, Queen. This is just like that time I threw up on my neighbor's shoe rack in the hall, but I'm different now. I'm 2 weeks clean unless anyone has coke and wants to chill. These days I'm just drinking beatbox and popping my pussy. I'm staring at a screen until it feels just like cat. Y'all fuckers don't get that harm reduction does in fact imply a certain level of harm is occurring. You can't stand it, can't stomach it. But I'm not embarrassed for having fun. I don't want to apologize for searching for an answer. I do not believe that my reactions are inconsistent to my day-to-day realities. I want to lock eyes with the earth and see who gets better first. Then you can really see who's not trying hard enough. Bam! That was a fun one. I got like 2 more and then I'm gonna stop. Storage is full, that's not good. I'm waiting on an email from a job. Alright, 2 more. I'm also gonna get sad. This was also gonna be about drugs. I'm just gonna do it. I'm sorry.
Do it.
I don't usually get that sad in my readings, but I don't know. Here's the deal. My life and my sense of self are defined in large part by the lowest I have ever been and the closest I have ever been to death. This is not necessarily because I still relate to the girl who almost froze in her car, or the foamy mouthed one who didn't want to wake up, but 1, because the harder I try to ignore her, the more likely she is to come back, and 2, I want so badly to be understood, both by myself and by others. So it's honestly kind of funny. I took so many drugs that I don't remember anything, and now I'm desperately clawing for those memories back. Whole days unknowable, whole days lost inside myself. I get the irony. Begging to be known without ever being able to truly know myself. Begging to be understood when all my reasoning is long, long gone. I'm the same girl she was, but slightly more aware of herself. I'm the same girl she was then. It feels fucked to say it. I'm the same girl she was. The same girl. 14 Ativan, 18 tabs of acid, who cares? I am the same girl. I'm the same girl she was, and sometimes the time in between us collapses to sheer nothingness. Like I could touch her. She's almost there. And here's the thing.
I take a great ass pic. I'm a pretty good cook, and honestly, I'm like kind of fun to be around when you get a few drinks in me. And sometimes the space between her and me is so vast, it's intraversible. So it's like honestly kind of crazy of me to put this version of myself on display. But how do I ask for forgiveness without explaining what I need forgiveness for? How do I move forward from something I can't remember? What forms of self-care are available to a girl who has felt everything? I light a candle, nothing happens. I take a nap, nothing happens. I do yoga, I stop drinking coffee. It's all always the same. It's all never heroin. Thanks. This is the last one. I don't remember if I read this one at the last one open mic thing that we did, but I'm still gonna read it. This is called "They Want Me Pussy Drippin' Ass Out on the Pillory." That's like the shit where you like put your head in your hand, the pillory. I ought to beat his ass, he says. We both dream of punishment. Me doubled over and gasping. They want me hard, rigid, blue, or squirming, head shoved into a pillow until, or the pillory, mockery, bad girl on display, it to be looked at, to be laughed at, an example. Most girl when I meet, girl from long distances or for jokes. I want a 12-inch pussy with a 60-inch vulva. Fuck what the haters say. You want to beat my ass because you're into that kind of freaky shit. Do you want it like that? Is it only a problem when I speak? A whole damn surgery to get rid of my Adam's apple, but the shit's still there. One of the failures of gender-affirming care is that I'm still here, trans-faced and crop-topped in the morning, ready to fucking let loose. Thanks. Whoever has to touch this mic next, I sweat so much. I'm so sorry.
No one's gonna look it up. This is what this is for. Absolutely not. That's fine. Yeah, drugs, man. I think, hold on. I met all of you after drugs. There is a reason for that. Who are my friends from before drugs? I don't know. Maybe I got amends. But like, can I remember what I have to amend for? We're not there yet. Step 4 forever. If you know, you know.
Straight edge, man.
Yeah, straight edge. Let me just go to punk shows.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And try to feel something, man. You know, go to punk shows, try to feel something. You know.
Moshing, man.
Moshing, man. Fucking people, fucking your body up. Anyway, physical harm is cool. It's cool when it's consensual. I write about it by my zine. If literally anyone's watching, you can also follow me on Instagram. It's Dive Dumpsters Duck Bars. Because I'm old, that's a Dodgeball the movie reference. Just so you all know that. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. And it means a lot of stuff because I thought about it when I was psychotic. Okay, cool. So our last person is Sina. And then you can decide if you want a weird dog. Come on, Sina.
Thank you, Laura. A lot of love for Scandinavians in the house tonight. Huh?
Yeah!
So I'm gonna give a bit of a range inspired by this amazing poet that just performed right now. Wow, this is so loud. Okay. It's a love letter. I was reading their book, which they had handed me, unknowingly that I would proceed to devour it as we were caressing each other on the bed. They started to feel my inner thigh, and I let the book go. Things started to get warm, and they asked me if I wanted them in my mouth. I said yes. Briefly after, they asked me, "Do you want me to take a picture of you?" Clarifying they had a Polaroid camera. I was all giddy and said yes. So they kind of directed me and just leaning into it and getting comfortable. I could sense that they took the photo just when I hit a spot they liked. which was also when I felt and looked the most serene. We played with that for a bit, and then they showed me the photo. I almost got emotional from how intimate it felt, but mostly because it was a photo of me, not a pornographic photo focusing on the act of phallus or the mouth. It was so generous, and it was just for me. It was very special. They said, yeah, I like the composition. I felt very cared for in that moment. And now for smut. Okay. Because you guys know me. I've been here for a month. This is called the soft leaning chair or the true sense of things trademark. This is translated from Danish today. Written while I was really horny.
Yeah!
But I kind of like hijacked 14 minutes last time I was performing at Laura's thing, so I wanted to keep it shorter, so I just translated something that was shorter. So here we go. She carefully sat on the lap of her friend. She could feel the squashing of her own thighs as they flattened out. And she lifted them shyly, whatever, by curling her toes against the floor. Just get comfortable, Olga warmly egged, with a subtle commandeering motion as she clapped herself on the knee. I can take it. Playfully and without hesitation, Leslie, I don't know why I picked that name. I translated it today, I was like, Leslie? Okay. But I kept it in there. Leslie leaned back, let go of the floor with her feet, and switched to sit entirely onto Olga's lap. Leslie snickered, and Olga threw her arms around her, hugging her closer, pressing her chest against Leslie's back. Leslie turned around halfway to return the hug, and to lean her head against Olga's. She could smell her strong, warm breath, and her warm hands snaked around her upper body. And Leslie put her arms around Olga's shoulders and pressed herself closer. Their faces were close. As they looked towards the TV screen, the images were dully rolling by, while Leslie was less and less focused on the content, feeling the heat run to her cheeks by the closeness. As she felt Olga's soft chest against her body, this form of intimacy offered her sanctuary and a break from the expectations to the desire she would otherwise impose on herself, unconsciously, yet threatening, as if a dispossession of this desire was a kind of law-breaking, a crime against the true sense of things trademark. The soft leaning chair let them both sink in well as they watched the movie. Olga's breath kept getting heavier and Leslie batted her eyes for a dazed second, but let the doubt rest. Are you comfortable? Olga asked with a deep compassion, removing the last sliver of Leslie's worry about whether she was too heavy or if Olga didn't enjoy it. I'm very comfortable, Leslie replied cautiously, although with a smile, and pressed her cheek tryingly against Olga's hair while they were cuddling in the chair. Aww, you're so doting, Leslie. Ha! Leslie didn't know how to react. Are you a bit shy? Olga teased with a whisper, as her fingers started to find their way underneath Leslie's shirt. Her fingers were colder than Leslie's stomach skin, which made them both sigh. Are you cold? Leslie asked, avoidantly. I'm getting warmer. Olga doubled down and found Leslie's breast to give it a squeeze. Leslie felt how the touch made her wet, and she started blushing hard. Olga, I'm not into girls. Why are you then getting warm down there? Why not into Right.
Fuck me to mama.
Olga held Leslie's head and turned it towards her own, planting her lips onto hers, caressing her neck while feeling her chest. She found her nipple as she played with her tongue, shifting between pressing her spit into her mouth and sucking on her bottom lip. Because you're hot, Leslie replied softly. As she opened her legs slightly, Olga welcomed the invitation and let her let her hand slip down from her neck to between her legs as Leslie held on to her thigh and pressed herself closer. Then let me fuck you, Olga laughed, and let her hand underneath Leslie's plaid skirt. This skirt is so slutty, babe. Did you wear it to make me go crazy? I'm glad you like it. Leslie smiled between their kisses and let out a loud moan when Olga's fingers found her opening. Olga's fingers slid in and found the G-spot. Deeply and playfully, while Leslie whined and moved her hips eagerly, sluttily. Come for me, slut, Olga exclaimed, almost frothingly biting and nibbling at Leslie's mouth and boobs while her hand was busy hammering into her possession. Leslie's tight, wet cunt. Fuck, Leslie moaned before her body caved into the orgasm, throwing her into an avalanche of desire, sliding into powerful quivers and gasps. Fuck yeah, babe, come for me, you fucking slut. Olga hoarsely moaned at her loving pet, continuously pumping her fingers into her as she shivered against her in intense orgasm. Thank you! And this is why Danish does it better.
Okay, like high key, medium key. I really want to hear that in Danish. I'm not gonna lie. I don't speak Danish. I barely speak English. Whoa! Oh man, straight girls are crazy, right? Oh man. Anyway, I don't fuck a straight girl, but I respect and love everyone who does. And that rocked. Thank you. I love hearing about fucking straight girls. Okay, wow, I have a timer going. We're not giving anyone time signals, it's fine. It's 9:26. The building closes at 10, question mark? Yes, it does. Exclamation mark. We must leave. Yes. Okay, we must leave. We must leave. 100%. We're like, yeah, we're fucking out of here. Okay. Okay, I have 3 minutes of like one ridiculous poem and one like it's sex. But I'm calling it a poem because like form is whatever. Do you want to hear it or you want to go?
Yes!
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay, I can't read these though. I'm too young so that I need the glasses for far away, but I'm so old that I still think this is undoable. Okay, so this one is based on a Lex date I had in December. And I wrote both of these poems on the same day. Location, December 23rd, 2024. You know it. I met a pretty girl in Toronto from Brooklyn, but not from Brooklyn, from a California suburb, from Chicago proper, from everywhere, but from nowhere, not from, never from, but in. A pretty girl in Toronto, visiting Toronto to escape the States like me, who lives in Brooklyn now like I do, but is not from there like me, like I am. A girl who said she was from Brooklyn when I met her. Don't do that, by the way. She was on vacation like I was. Vacation, escape, vacation. She had stolen away to Toronto for just a few days. How serendipitous to meet each other here, she said. She was visiting for the first time, she said. Her first time. Like me, I lied, but it was not my first time in Canada, which is true. No, I'm very familiar with the Maritimes, I said. Also true. We talked like that for hours about nothing and everything, so deep like we would never meet again, so deep like we would only ever see each other. She was a really pretty girl, a lot like me, but not like me like that. I'm not a girl, but not a girl. Definitely not a pretty girl, never a pretty girl. No, sometimes girl, sometimes I feel like a girl, like a lesbian is a girl, like a lesbian, so therefore I must be a girl, not in the way that she definitely is a girl. She is not like me, but like me. I met a pretty girl in Toronto, so much like me, it stupefied me. That was actually not about sex, so it's mildly vulnerable to read. Okay, let's get unvulnerable again. Woo! This was called Fucked by a Butch. It is basically the opposite. I am the man. 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 If that's what it means to you, if that's what you need me to say, if that's how you see the world, I wear the pants. I wear the pants, and I don't care if you also are wearing pants. You're taking them off for me and leaving them as a puddle on the floor. I will be wearing the pants and a shirt, and maybe even a sweatshirt, and I will force you up against the wall, holding you by your collarbone with my inactive forearm before I bring it down to your little cock to rub you off while I fuck you. Before I slide 2 more fingers in and out of your hole on top of the 3 I already have filling you. There's a chance I will get tired, but I will not show it. I will push beyond my capacity and fuck you till you're done, till you're used up, till you're a puddle on the floor. I push into you with the full thrusting of my hips. My elbow is on my thigh, right by my hip. It has become my cock, my almost 2-foot cock with only 3.5 inches inside of you. I need to make up for it with the force with which I push myself into you. You fall down onto my hand as your legs buckle, and I smile into your armpit, breathing in your nervous sweat and your lightly minty or piney or magnolia-y scent. Okay, like last time I think it'd be really cute if like everyone who read just like came up or like did stuff. You could come up, we take a little photo. Maybe one day I'll post on my Instagram. And while you're doing that, come up please. Now, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And while you're doing that, I did look it up, and the light pink bandana, I was correct. It is dildo fucking. So it's like, fucker, get fucked. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yay, everyone! So cute. Okay, I'm gonna be in the back because I'm tall.
Thanks for Okay, let's go. Everyone, be cute. No, we're good.
It's a family reunion.
Oh,
The mic is in.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Woo!
Thanks, y'all.
All right, yay!
Good night, online audience.